Hi, this is the Cat's Library. I'll be your librarian today. My previous second draft videos got pretty low views, so I'm changing the format. This should be better since the people want pretty pictures and not typing. I'll be going over the plot points from the first draft of Dragon Planet, which can be found on a playlist on my channel page if you want to get caught up. This video is a character description and redesign of Dalia Zlatnik, and will probably not contain spoilers for the actual second draft. Engage! To begin with, some quick design notes on the drawings on screen. I wanted to do a 2-point turnaround and 2 expressions along with the writing notes. While adapting the first Dalia drawing, I wanted to change the pose because she doesn't look nervous, she looks like she doesn't want to be there and slightly haughty. That's based on the pose and not the expression. At the time of the original drawing, I wasn't sure how to draw a rounded face shape. I started out the new drawing by mimicking that mistake before shifting to something more in line with my current style. The hair also makes marginally more sense now. I made her necklace bigger and more prominent. It's a locket with a picture of her parents. I also tried my absolute best with the shoes this time, even though they're still off, especially from behind. They are now supposed to be Mary Jane's with a slight heel. I changed the rest of the outfit as well since I wanted everything to follow a crescent shape language, because I forgot that Alani has a crescent shape language. Mostly I made the shirt longer since I didn't want to draw a pelvis, since the reference I was using had a structurally unsound one. I struck pretty close to the original color scheme, as this is a very pretty green. Dalia is supposed to be the most normal character and is the only human girl in the cast, not counting the director, so a more muted color palette suits her since she doesn't want to stand out. She also likes nature. Her nose looks slightly different on the full body than on the expressions. She looks slightly better with her nose pointed, so that's probably going to be her canonical nose shape. Though technically they are at different angles from each other, so that could be another reason for the difference. For the written portion, I wanted it to be short and sweet. I haven't actually figured out what I want the new plot to be yet, and so I don't have much to work with in that department. I also wanted her to be susceptible to change, like subtle interactions with other characters. You can describe a character all you want, but when you place them in a scene, they tend to become a different person. I started out trying to make up a handwriting style that Dalia might actually use, but later disregarded this in favor of being legible. The virtue and flaw are about her character arc. She wants to help people individually and in a way that makes their day easier. On the surface, this is a very selfless thing for her to want, but the problem with her flaw is that she tries to achieve this through her own means. This could be something minor, like applying for her and her husband to go on a diplomatic mission to another planet without asking him, or something big, like openly undermining the Dragon Monarchy without seeking out a safer option first. She's going to have to face some kind of pushback for this so that she learns to take feedback. In the previous videos in this series, I talked about how Mike is the communicator, and yet he's more on the logical side, while Uri is the scientist and more on the emotional side, and how that adds interest. Dalia is the most people-oriented of the group and is the most analytical. I think that the way that she is analytical is rooted in her need to nurture, whether it be people, plants, animals, or other creatures. She has a string of facts funneling into her head at all times, and she regularly organizes those facts into theories about what's around her on the scientific and psychological levels. Now, when I say weakness, I'm referring to something that the character will never be able to do, or so contrary to their nature that they would never do this even though it could be beneficial. For Dalia, it is behaving unpredictably, which I'm putting down because in the first draft, Zell was tracking the Earthlings, and someone with consistent habits and behavior would be easier to track. Maybe they need to lay low at some point, but Dalia is the one who talks them into helping some random citizen, which ends up being a trap. This is a different category than a moral code, which is probably going to be its own video, since I'll need to contrast the heroes and the villains' morals against each other. One of her plot purposes is to be the normal Alice in Wonderland Dorothy in Oz type of character who can interact to the craziness around her with respect, wonder, and confusion, and rein in her more eccentric teammates when they go off book. A second reason is to ask the people around her questions so that the audience can figure out who people are, and the scout team can figure out whatever the new mystery is. In the second draft, I want her to be the one who helps Mike and Glassman to get over their disagreement, and is the first who notices Alani acting strange. Finally, she is the one who notices details. While other people are more concerned about the overall mystery and later on the corruption of the Empire, Dalia is more interested in how the people go about their daily lives and smaller problems. Her main motivation throughout this story is emotional catharsis, which I'm going to define as that if something went wrong in her past and she sees another person going through something similar, then she'll want to fix it so that she will vicariously feel like her own problems are solved. This will change at the end of the story since the motivation is fundamentally flawed. I haven't decided what it will change to, though. I finished up the recording by putting one of the Dalia images in the new lineup document, which will make more sense when I get to the other characters. This document also contains the color scheme of Dalia, Ari, Glassman, and Mike so that they look alike. Alani always had colors which were a bit different from everyone else since she's alienated from the group. If I decide that she rejoins them after everything, maybe she'll have a color change. And now we're at the end of the video. Like, subscribe, comment, watch more videos, and share with your friends. Bye now!